you could always use a little more. Am I right or am I right or am I right? Right.
Ned, I would love to stand here and talk with you, but I'm not going to.
And just in case you were thinking, I wish we could have more reports to look at. Well, good news. I made a report just for the dataset we were looking at. And I purposefully tried to give this a little bit different tone, like it's more conversational. Some of this almost feels less professional. We're going to win this war and help breathe easier. And like, okay. And explain how I got rid of things, but told it like story style, which is a little different than the more professional tone that I was using on the other one. Take a look at this. Let's talk about the residuals. I saw this residual and I did this to fix it. And I mean, I could have shown the two plots side by side, or maybe I'll just show the residual that was bad and then say afterwards the residual worked. These are all style choices. You can play to your style if you're the type that's more conversational, or if you're the type that's more terse. That's okay. We're not requiring you to have a specific type of tone. So in this paper, I'm purposefully using a different tone. A little bit darker tone. Let's kill people. Yeah, okay, sure, whatever. And talk about the R squared and the predictions and, but who really cares when we're slaughtering thousands anyway? That's a very different tone style. I did that on purpose so that you can kind of see how this could work out different. Look here. This is the prediction equation. Here's the number, but only if the terrorism level is medium. Normally it would have been like terrorism medium and then afterwards. Terrorism medium is 0 if this or 1 if that, or maybe different equations based off terrorism. Here there's, stock prices written out like a word. That's okay. That's a style choice. If you were talking to, I misspelled stations. Hang on, let me fix that. If you were talking to a friend, right, and they were like, hey, can you look at some of this data? This might be the tone you would use. If you were really working with generals in the U.S. Army, I doubt you would pick this mode, but in this class, we don't specify the way you have to do it. Next, I would like to explain the effects. That doesn't actually tell me anything except thanks for the story. And here we go. And of course, I want to get the bonus point, so it's too many bombs, they don't take you serious. Too few bombs, they don't take you serious. Too many, they're getting smashed. I think you should do a whole lot of bombs. Look, boom to them. Okay, definitely a different style than what I did before. Here's Napalm. And I'm not going to sit here and read the report to you. I mean, you can read it if you want, but stuff like, who cares about your eternal soul? Because, napalm is a horrible thing. I hope we don't see another war where it's used, but here apparently we're telling them to use it because it's a variable, and by luck, it happened to be significant for me. And here talking about the interactions and why is it that medium has almost no temperature effect, whereas low has this strong effect. And why could this be? I have no idea. This is weird. Good thing it's not stock. That variable, like, how does stock market affect a war? But if I had to guess, maybe, okay, that's a lot of conversational. Some people like that. It's their stream of thought, stream of consciousness. There's times when that might be an appropriate style, so if you want to go that way, you certainly can. And then here I talked about the individual variables last. I think in the other report they were first. There's no rule on which order you have to do things. In fact, if you do them in a different order than in the rubric, I prefer that because it shows you're thinking about how you want your report to be, not just following the rubric. Please don't just follow my reports. Do your own thing. These are meant to just give you some ideas and guidelines of what to expect. Here we're threatening nurses because apparently they're saving enemy lives. And we're threatening our spies because they're saving enemy lives too. So there we go. Here I finally talked about predicting the first row data. Most people would have put that earlier, like right after the model, but there's no necessary rule here. Here's my confidence interval. Notice this was not my smallest beta. I don't actually care which beta you use. I used to just say pick a beta, and students were like, which beta? So, the smallest, fine, there's a rule. I don't actually care which beta you pick, just a 95% confidence interval for one of the slopes. So here's the punchline to my report. Kill all the nurses and spies. Attack when it's called tank the stock market, because for some reason that ended up in my model. And we can win this war, and yay go us. We'll study gender just because that's a hot topic lately, and humidity because that's a common numerical variable. And this will help us to learn how to stop the war. Erase Latveria from the map. That's a joke, obviously, because Latveria doesn't actually exist on the maps. But here we go, another example. I didn't make you sit there and watch me type it out because I typed it out before the video was made, but I wanted to put a different tone on it, put things in a different order, and show you maybe a different way and different style for the report.